Good morning, Fractal Effects team. Before we get started, make sure you read the disclosure in the description of our YouTube channel. If you're following along with us today, make sure you're doing a demo account, as this is for educational purposes only. We are not financial advisors, and this is not financial advice. So we have FOMC meeting minutes at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard today. 11 p.m. 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. One second, let me check that. I have two different schedules in front of me. No, I was right. Sorry, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard. My apologies. Right now, we have a break in both directions. We do have an upside expansion model. We do have a buy model. We're sitting right inside of a daily fair value gap for NAS. So we have a break in both directions. So we're waiting for a double break or a first presented fair value gap to be created. So after we got this break, this was the first bullish fair value gap that was created, but it didn't get tapped. And then we got another one. So usually the market likes to come back down, at least tap one of these two before it decides which direction it wants to go. Same thing with US 500. Just zoom out here on the 5-minute. Upside expansion model, buy model. We're sitting inside of a massive 4-hour fair value gap, also a daily. Same thing. This was the first presented fair value gap after this break. After we tapped the blue zone, we have not tapped it yet. Most likely we'll come back down here, and this is where today's move will be decided, whether or not we respect this daily fair value gap and push through, or if we bounce off this area and then head up. So I'd like to see this retracement happen. I'd also like to get a bullish confirmation if we can. But right now, not too much going on. US 30. One second. US 30 gave us a double break already, which is a good sign. So we had a breakdown and a break up on the same candle. Now the first presented fair value gap is right here. So this one, the market actually dipped in, dipped out. So I'd like to see it come back down, tap the 20. There's a fair value gap in here as well. Remember, after the double break, we get a retracement back to one of our key zones. There's a purple zone here. There's the opening gap. A lot of things happening down here. But this is giving more confluence that the market will most likely be pushing up. But I still want to see a proper retracement. I want to see bullish confirmations happening. So just have to remain patient. Follow the rules. I'd like to see US 30 come back into this zone. Till then, we're just hanging out. Remember, right around this time is when you will see that pattern, the PO3 pattern. usually right around between 10 o'clock to 10:30, you see consolidation, and then the manipulation will eventually give us what we're looking for, which is a push back into our zone, hopefully, and then a distribution in the direction that it wants to actually go. So this is right on time. Let's just mark this out. There's your consolidation zone. I usually make this yellow, but we got yellow on top of yellow. It's fine. For beginners, make sure if you're using Fractal Effects strategy, obviously our proprietary indicators work exclusively with TradingView script. So make sure you understand TradingView. We personally don't have any TradingView tutorial on our in our learning hub, in our masterclass, but there's hundreds of them, thousands of them online. Make sure you understand how to paint out all these zones and get quick with it too. Make sure you make yourself a favorites toolbar up here. There's a consolidation zone right now. US 500 moving at a better pace right now. Excuse me. Let's see if this fair value gap stays open. I'd like to see this fair value gap stay open. I'd like to see the market tap it, go into this zone here. And then this is where it'll be decided. Since we have a break in both directions, I want to see which one is respected. Since we have a buy model, obviously we have a bias to the upside. Not to mention we have a double break on US 30 already. But with US 30 as well, I want to see it come back into this zone. Remember, when they don't come into your zones, they're equivalent to a runaway market. We don't trade runaway markets. When you have a first presented fair value gap, that is the highest probability. And if it doesn't get tapped, there's a high chance that it will eventually, even if it looks like it's taken away from you, taken off from you, there's a high chance that it'll come back around and tap that zone and possibly take out your stop loss if you got in higher. That's why we always wait. Two minutes, 48 seconds left. I want to see if this fair value gap stays open on US 500. No fair value gap created on NAS yet. Still just consolidating. This could get closed up too. Let's see. I'm not interested in a short retracement. Okay, so that one's out of the question. Still waiting. Still pushing down, but no fair value gap. Not interested in a shallow retracement today. Especially when you have days like FOMC meeting minutes, and we got Fed Chair Powell speaking tomorrow. On weeks like this, you want, if you do choose to be in the markets, you want every single one of your confluence points to be met. You don't want to take any chances, because this is the week they're going to do the most amount of manipulating. Remember, they use all of these news drops, these high impact news drivers, as smoke screens to reprice the market. They don't want you getting in. We wait until a proper retracement is done, until we hit the first presented fair value gaps. This is as low as it could go if it's going to go up. So why not just wait for it to come in here? And if it doesn't, that's fine too. But the higher probability of a safer trade is down here. Three of them slowly look like they're moving down. Let's see. NAS still just consolidating in that pocket. US 500, some anemic candles here. And US 30. Again, smaller anemic candles. We'd like to see it come back into this zone at the very least. More than enough time in your window of opportunity. Tomorrow we will not be live. You don't want to be in the markets on days where Fed Chair Powell speaks. He is speaking early. It's going to be at 8:30 Eastern Standard. But the market usually before and after he speaks does a lot of manipulation. There's a lot of volatility. You want to just stay out of the market completely. Not to mention tomorrow, especially the way everybody is forecasting it, there's going to be a big move. I'd rather let the move happen, let the dust settle, and then take a look after that. Don't ever try to trade news. You've seen all the memes. That is exactly what happens when Powell speaks. Don't want to be a part of it. Even if it goes in the direction that you want it to. Some of those spikes can be so fast that it can actually miss your take profit and miss your stop loss. I've seen that. I've seen a market drop so fast that it misses your stop loss and you miss out in a lot more than you actually wanted to. So again, proceed with caution. Market is pushing down, not leaving any fair value gaps, which is fine. As mentioned before, it just kind of gives more cadence that it wants to pop up. We're back at that 20 EMA. This is what we call an early retracement. So we have not gotten any bullish confirmation on any of the indices, but yet we've come back down to the 20 EMA. That means when we do get bullish confirmation, it will most likely use the first presented fair value gap, tap it, and just keep running. There's your NYC opening gap. That's down here as well. That was not tapped either. Still just patiently waiting. Look at all this consolidation. Meanwhile, US 30 slowly making its way back down here as well. We are green across the board. Except for 4 hour. Still just gesticulating. Again, I'm not interested until it comes back into that retracement zone. We don't have a bullish confirmation. We do not have a double break from either of these other two indices until I actually get a proper retracement back into the zone and then a setup. Until all the confluence is met on a day like today, not interested. Look at NAS. This is all just consolidation still. So until NAS is ready to drop or make its move, none of them will. And again, if it takes off without us from here, I'm okay with that as well. Yesterday's trade setup, for anybody who was watching live yesterday, ended up being a success. We took another one on Monday. That was also a success. If you stick to the consistency, and if this doesn't move in the window of opportunity, then I'm going to use this time to actually go over the Asia trade. But if you stick to the actual confluence, all the actual confluence to the T, make sure you're looking at divergence. This strategy is over 80% accurate. Now legally there's only so much we're allowed to say as far as its accuracy. But let's just say if you stick to the rules, which is the 1 to 3 risk to reward, and you follow all the confluence, you'll be in profit. The other thing to remember about the power of 3 setup is it doesn't need to have a manipulation move. It can actually just do consolidation and then distribution. It can take off without that manipulation. So that's why we're just being cautious here. Still a whole bunch of nothing as far as I'm concerned. But 20 minutes left in our stream. Okay, this looks a little interesting here. Let's see if this gives us the push down that we're looking for from all 3 indices. Right now, US 500 is the most interesting. At the very least, I want to see it come into this red zone right here. Red and aqua zone here. And then it could go as deep as this. But I'd like to see this at least happen, because here's your New York opening gap, which was left untouched. And this is our First presented fair value gap. Still some more room to go here. Anything above this is a shallow retracement, and I'm not interested. US 30, finally close to its first presented fair value gap. The other thing to remember is we have a break in both directions, but we have not been given a fair value gap here in US 500, but we did here. That's what makes me think that we're going to hit this and get a setup to go long, and then take out these highs. Let's see where. So there's all-time highs right up here. That's the 4-hour highs and all-time highs. That would be the target. It's heading in the direction we want it to, but taking its sweet time to do it. NAS, again, still just consolidating. Has not broken up out of that range. That's why US 500 has now become my primary focus. But I'm not interested until at least comes into this red fair value gap right here. Sorry, I got a few painted on top of each other, but right here. This is in the Venn diagram of higher probabilities. It's this region, and then it could dip as low as this consequence encroachment. US 30 also looks like it wants to come back down. NAS finally breaking up out of that consolidation. US 500 dropping now. Here comes US 30, also into that zone. NAS, again, finally breaking up out of that consolidation. US 30, I want to see if it came back and touched the lowest fair value gap. It was actually this one. Remember to zoom in, make sure you get the right measurement. We just tapped it. Now I'd like to see a 1 minute fair value gap created here and tapped. Same thing with the US 500. It's a little sliver of a fair value gap right here. You want to see if it gets respected. If it just gets ran through. Same thing with US 30 here. There's your first 1 minute fair value gap. Already looks like it's on the verge of getting disrespected, but let's see. That could just be a immediate rebalance. If we take out these lows, then I'm going to get rid of this fair value gap, just like this one. So that one is no longer valid. Looks like it might be going in for that deeper retracement. About 13 minutes left in our window of opportunity. Let's see if we can't get a setup. I actually prefer this. I'd like to see the deeper retracement. As mentioned before, I really wanted to see this fair value gap touched. And then the deeper it goes, the more cadence that gives to the story that we will be pushing up once it gives us the setup. So US 30 did not take out the slow yet. Let's see if it respects this fair value gap. Still waiting for a 1 minute fair value gap to be created on US 500. Only 10 minutes left in our window of opportunity, so let's see what it gives us, if anything. And then remember, 2 o'clock FOMC minutes. And tomorrow we will not be live. Fed Chair Powell is speaking. I urge you to stay out of the markets tomorrow. Wait till the dust settles, and then you can decide what to do after that. Sorry, just trying to reframe this a little better. So we're digging in even deeper. Just want to make sure. Okay, so yeah, that low's been taken out. That doesn't count anymore, nor does this one. We'll keep for now because we haven't taken out those lows. I'm going to jump back up to the 1 minute. Still a whole bunch of nothing. No 1 minute fair value gap created yet. NAS is still dropping. About 8 minutes left in our window of opportunity. Okay, so we're getting a push up here. This could be the first 1 minute fair value gap created. 44 seconds still left. Nope, no 1 minute excuse me, fair value gap created. 5 minutes left in our stream, in our window of opportunity. So without that foothold, we can't climb this mountain. So right now, again, it's just giving us a whole bunch of nothing. US 30 could push once it hits or closes above this line, but I would have liked to matched it up with at least a 1 minute fair value gap here on US 500. NAS Still just gesticulating, hasn't touched any of these fair value gaps down here. So it looks like US 30 might be the one. If we get a closure above this, this could be the push. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, US 30. Let's back out now and see exactly where it could be heading though. Up here to take out these highs. I'd like to see a 1 minute fair value gap here. There's more confluence. They're both ready to push, but I want to see this stay open in the next 54 seconds. 50 seconds. Let's see if US 500 is ready to go as well. 36 seconds. Eight seconds closed off immediately. A minute left in our stream and in our window of opportunity. Please check us out on fractaleffects.com where we teach high probability trading. Please hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications so you know when we're live. We're currently live Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 10:30 Eastern Standard. We will not be live tomorrow because of Fed Chair Powell speaking. Please check us out on all the social medias, fractal.effects with an E. And that's your homework. So we did get candle closure. I want to see if US 30 takes out these highs. See if US 500 finally gives you that 1 minute fair value gap as your foothold entry to climb up. And NAS most likely might not come back down here. It'll just get pulled up with the rest of these two. That's our time. We'll see you guys next week. Have a great week.